Welcome yet again to the 13 doors. This is our pilgrimage into conscious creatorship. I'm glad to have you here for the 10th week. We are approaching that 13th door. I cannot believe how quickly all of this stuff has gone by. Just know if this is your first time joining, welcome. Hi. You are not behind. You're right on time for yourself. So apparently you really needed the silver door. So today we are opening a brand new door, and hopefully you had the time to work with the black door. Maybe you're working with the black and the white door. Whatever came up is definitely related to the silver door, because in this silver door, we shall be bridging both black and white. And so before we open this door, dig into all this stuff, let's take a moment to just arrive together, to bring our presence to this present moment. Allow ourselves to feel supported, feel connected to our breath, to our being, have this awareness of what's happening inside, what's happening outside, and be able to land safely in this now moment. So let's take a few deep, slow breaths. Oh, a few slow breaths together. Just feeling that vitality, that life force that comes from the breath, reminding you that you are alive, you are now, you are here. Feeling, oh, what is happening? We're moving in this. It's got a mind of its own. I'm gonna stop sharing. It was just going through the doors, tuning into where we've been, where we're going, kind of feeling into that pregnant space of, wow, there's a lot here. There's a lot we've been through, and we still have more to go. But if we can land here in the now, everything we need is right here, right now. Like I said, some of you may have missed some episodes. Some of you are brand new right now, and that's okay because you're going to get exactly what you need. The silver door is its own threshold. And today we're tuning into the moon, into lunar alchemy, into the alchemy that happens within us when we're holding both light and darkness. We're holding both shadow and gift. And we're feeling a little bit curious and playful. And we want to just dabble in both of them, just like my little kitty. So here is where the light and the shadow mingle at the same time. And we're going to tune into your womb waters, tune into your emotional body. We're going to tune into your mother's body that held you. We're going to tune into her womb, your womb, as a conscious creator, whether you are born as a male or a female, we all have a creative womb. And here in the silver door, we're going to stop treating our off days as and our misaligned choices as evidence that maybe something is wrong with us, or we failed for the day, or I just can't get on track, or why do I always keep slipping back? We're going to learn from, those shadow moments. We're going to learn from the misalignment. We're going to learn from the emotional waters and turbulence and the inner tides, because it's just information. And we're going to tune into the silver linings that is actually going to help us reveal what our soul is really asking for. We have this idea or ideal of Shambhala, what heaven on earth is going to look like for us. And we're trying to create it, or at least step by step kind of understand, where the hell are you leading me, soul? What is this all about? Some of us will have a clear vision of what we want in our life for our life, and some of us will be like, I feel like I'm here for the ride, and can you just point me in the right direction? Because I feel lost and I'm just jumping from thing to thing. So I think little by little, everything will get clearer and clearer for you because a lot of the confusion, a lot of the chaos, a lot of the I don't know what's happening is because there's a lot of chaos and confusion inside. So you want to clear up some stuff, and this silver door is going to help us bridge where we can live in the same space container with our shadow, with our light, with the confusion, with the illumination. You know, if you're involved and invested in the gene keys, then you know there's a shadow, a gift, and a city. And they're all present at the same time. It's just which one are you in resonance with? That's the one that is going to be your reality. And the shadow is not something we run away from. It actually conceals the gift. And if we can enter into the shadow, into the darkness, we get the data and then we learn from it and we spend more and more time weaving and flowing in that gift frequency than we do, falling back into the reactivity or the repressive nature of the shadow. And it's a current that carries us. And so the more you're accepting and open to whether you're in the light or the dark, the shadow or the gift or whatever it is, the more that you can just accept your state of being, the easier it's going to be for you to pivot, pivot out of it. If you can allow yourself to be adaptable and change, we can find that silver lining or that cord that's going to pull us up and out of the shadow frequencies and help us get a better picture, get a higher perspective, or hang out more in the gift frequency because you've alchemized, you've shifted, you've metabolized. So we talk about, this is the silver door. Silver is also connected to the moon. It's also in, let's just call it lunar alchemy. Let's call it moon alchemy. It's a conductor. The moon is also a reflector. The moon is also an amplifier. And so when we're in this space, we have way more awareness because it's not about choosing white door, black door, shadow, gift, any of that stuff. It's that we are holding both. We have both. The silver door is actually like a tuning chamber between them where we learn to use both light and shadow as feedback to help us orient with what we're wanting to create, our Shambhala, right? Hold the pose, stay the course. We're being a match. And so we have to be aware of what are we being a match for. And when the shadow shows up, we're a match for the shadow. When the darkness shows up, we're a match for that. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that there's still data for us to uncover in this place. We're still learning from it, and that's okay. Because all notes in, the spectrum and the range is acceptable. Each note plays a different song, right? And so we're just here to try to tune into our own soul song and be like, am I in tune? Am I in resonance? Is my instrument in tune? Am I playing a C, but it sounds kind of off? I'm off, right? So this silver door isn't about being perfect. And that might have come up during the black door in the agua sucia moments. It's about learning to listen, to tune our instruments and to stay with wherever we're at. So we touched on your soul song, and each of you has this unique frequency. It's a song of your being, and it has been singing long before this lifetime. And you hear it, you feel it. It's kind of this feeling of home. And maybe you feel this little tingly in your heart. There's just this, when you contemplate the concept of home, not home that you were raised in, I mean, where do you fit? Where do you belong? That home. Shambhala, home, heaven on earth, isn't somewhere out there. It's not. It's this world that gets built when you create from that song inside of you. It's like an inner world reflects the outer world reflects the inner world, and or the outer world is reflecting what the inner world is. And we sing our soul song, we tune to our soul song, And we're operating from this place of like deep, deep accepting for the different tides and waves of being human. We don't always get to stay in resonance with the frequency of love. Sometimes stuff comes in and we're angry, we're pissed off, we're like, I'm not okay with this. We have preference, it's human. And with the emotions, some emotions, I don't think people enjoy being sad, angry, embarrassed, all these different emotions. There's negatively valenced emotions and there's positively valenced emotions. And we're here to ride those waves, live the spectrum, because feeling and experiencing the low lows allows us to appreciate even more the high highs. Otherwise, we're living in this really small range and it just feels like life is lackluster and there's no magic in life anymore. It's just this consistent thing. And that could be great, but I think we came here to play. I think we came here to feel. I think we came here for the spectrum. And that spectrum is beautiful, magnificent. And so today we talk in the Silver Door about your womb and your wound and these tides. And when life is giving you these ups and downs, how can you get back in balance, get back in frequency? So we're going to practice hearing in the silver door when things are off. I know the 18 came up in the black door and the 18 and the 58 and that whole channel, and among other gates, they have an ability to tune into when a note is off key, when we're hitting the wrong note. So you got to tune into yourself and feel like, what's off here? Where are things a little bit off? Not like a judgment, just like what needs my support, what needs my nurturing. It's an invitation to tune in, to be like, all right, gang, you're like the orchestrator, the maestro. You're here to tune in and be like, all right, what instrument in me is kind of off? Because when we live out of harmony too long, we get, dis-ease, discomfort. It's just a part of us that is not in rhythm. We're still in the transit of the five, right? Which is the rhythmic archetype. So are you in tune with your natural rhythm? And can your natural rhythm be in rhythm, be in dance with Earth, with humanity? Can you dance? Because no man is an island. You're not going to be like, all right, if I can just control my whole environment and I have my routines and I have my this and I have my that, I'm good. I feel in harmony, right? That's codependency. That's the shadow of the 19. I need my environment to be XYZ in order for me to feel okay. That would be codependency. I need this to feel okay. So, in any moment, can we be adaptable? Can I know what my baseline is? And then when I come into interaction with another person, instead of chameleon into what they need, who they are, allowing us to dance together, it's a dance. So you're tuning into that music maker of you, and you're tuning into all the other music that's around you. Yeah, it might sound cacophonous and be like, oh, how do we go together? But I assure you, the more you practice, the more it becomes easier and easier to dance or sing or tune or harmonize with your environment, with other people, without losing yourself in the process. So that's what this silver door is doing, is it's helping you become in tune with your inner tides. And if you can learn how to navigate, ride those waves, surf those things, it makes it easy to do it outside as well. You become adaptable. So if you'd like to close your eyes for a moment, you can ask yourself, what does being in tune with myself feel like? What does being in harmony inside feel like? And a part of your body might be like, yeah, I want to speak it. I want to tell you. Might feel it in your heart or somewhere else. Just allow it to draw you in so that you can remember what harmony feels like, what being on note, what being on key, what being on time, on purpose, and rhythm feels like. Your body has a natural metronome, it has its rhythm. So even just tuning into what's that pace? Like, how is my metronome going? Doot, 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 or is it doot, 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 doot? Feel into that. Just feeling into as well, where have I felt this before? Odds are this isn't the first time you felt in tune, in rhythm. Everything just felt like it was working out for you. Right place, right time, magic all around. Wow, 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 boom, boom, boom. Hit in all the notes. I don't know if you've ever played DDR, Dance Dance Revolution, where you have all those, your feet need to hit the arrows or whatever, and you're like, man, I am so on beat with this. That's what it feels like too in life. Dang, hitting all those right notes, like perfect score. Or what's that other one with the guitar? Whatever that one is. Yeah. What does it feel like to be in tune with yourself? Like grounded, peaceful, blissful, so happy, so content. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna stir it up now. Let's stir it up. Great. You felt that for a second. Let's go into your wombs. And I say wombs because we have an origin womb and we have a creative womb. The womb that you came from, the womb waters you were born in, developed in, are your origin waters. And before we talk about what you're creating now, we need to honor the womb that you came from. This is more than just anatomy and like the your mom's uterus and you in the womb waters. Like there's a lot happening. Your mother's body, her nervous system, her emotional field, the emotional field of your family, that environment, and what's in the bloodline, any of those different patterns, survivor patterns, anything that's in your lineage, that is being broadcasted to you in those womb waters. Think about it. Water carries frequency, it amplifies it, it holds on to something, it can hold on to the data, to the information. And so when something is being broadcasted into the waters that you are being grown in, it's conditioning you from the get go. That water taught your system what to expect in life, what to expect in terms of safety, in about love, about conflict, about being seen, about making mistakes, about all sorts of things. Whatever your mother was experiencing, you were too. So there's at least three layers to this, right? We have the physical and the nervous system. So your mother's body chemistry, her stress, the stress hormones that were there, even as you were born, if you were breastfed, you were also receiving from the breast milk as well. That was nourishment and nurturing. Nurturement. Is that a word? Her health, her exhaustion levels. If she had to work while she was pregnant, if she had to work after she gave you, what was her stress level like? Those are the hormones that you were used to being flooded with. It's hormones and biochemistry that your nervous system marinated in. So, whatever it is that your mom believed about the world or about her partner and that relationship, whether she was married or not, like with someone or not, that impacted you. And it was what you agreed to, is what you signed up for, and it helps you with what you need to do here. There's nothing wrong about it, but it's not, the womb you were in is not going to always be perfect. So it becomes this baseline tone for you, for your system, and it unconsciously, and what your system unconsciously expects. So that's also agua sucia territory. It's not bad water, but it's lived water. It's like water that has already been pre-programmed. It's not pure water, it's not source water. Like you came into the womb of your mother growing in it, and it was the environment you needed, right? If we look at our nodes, our nodal environment, the conscious and unconscious side, that is the environment you needed to grow into the diamond of yourself, to get the gifts and the talents and the things that you needed in this life. You needed an amount of pressure, right? That was what kind of womb, what kind of environment you needed. So waters can carry unprocessed trauma, they can carry the grief, the shame, and even love and devotion. Like whether you were chosen or not, you know, to your mom was like, yeah, you were an accident, or you were whatever they divulged about the conception, about the birth, about the labor and delivery, all that, that was also like their perception, their judgment of their experience growing you, carrying you. And that was also being unconsciously and consciously, if they shared it with you, divulged to you. Yeah. So not only that, so the physical and nervous system, but also the emotional and relational. So was love expressed? Was it withheld? When your mom was pregnant, was the dad around? Was it a loving situation? Was there conflict? How was that conflict handled? All of that stuff. When we're born and we spend those first 7 years in that SQ sphere, so if you look at your chart and your gene keys, the SQ sphere, there is no boundaries, no barriers for the child. That's where a lot of the conditioning comes in because we're looking around the world and we're seeing, all right, how do I fit in here? What do I need to do to survive, to be part of this family, to get my needs met? Are my needs being met? And we learn a lot about ourselves during that, right? But when it comes to the emotional realm, too, that comes in the EQ sphere. The mental realm is the IQ sphere. So those are 7 year cycles. When you were in your mother's womb, you were learning to be, you were intuitive. The womb waters were also programming your first 3 cycles. You know, the SQ, the EQ, the IQ. Those are your 21 years to incarnate here. So you were tuning into with your intuition, all right, this is what I have to work with. This is you as a freaking powerful creator just in the womb. All right, I got these ingredients to work with. And so we're going to throw these out into the future. This is what we're going to deal with in our first 7 years. This is what we're going to deal with in our second, in our third. And also, if you think about it, if everything is destined, if there is a little bit of dharma and karma and all that stuff, then obviously we're also going to sprinkle on a little bit of things that we have to experience to be able to transmute and put us on the path to healing the agua sucia, the stuff that was in the womb waters, that was in the lineage. Like we're creators, we're co-creators, and we're divine alchemists. This is lunar alchemy. This is womb water alchemy. Like this little baby planning and preparing, right? You were learning to tune into those psychic senses to be like, okay, what's coming? And then obviously we have, emotional, physical, we've got mythic and soul agreements that we take on. This is where the core wound lives. So when you are in your mommy's womb, it is territory for the core wound. So inside of the gene keys, we have the core wound or the vocation sphere. So if you check out what is my core wound, what is my vocation sphere, that basically is going to tell you the womb waters that you were living in. So the wound tends to be connected to the line expression of your core wound. So if your first line, the core wound that you took on is the wound of repression, deep, 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 deep patterns. You can't see. Nobody can see. It's deep down there. We got to excavate. We need an excavator to dig, 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 dig. It's in the bones. It's in the blood. It's like deep in there. But there's also a potential to be highly creative, to create new patterns, to create new things. That's the gift of that first line. The second line is denial. I cannot see it. You will see it in the other, but you will not see it in the self. It'll be like, no, that's not me, that's you. That is how the MO of that one goes. It cannot see that it's there, but everybody else outside of it can recognize it. So we've got to take the data from where are we projecting that, no, it's them, and where are we getting feedback from others as well. That's going to help us become aware because it's the awareness is like, oh, wow, okay, yeah. And then it becomes easy and then it becomes natural. And then once you see it, you can't unsee it. Oh, wow, thank you for showing me that. I finally see it. I'm not blind anymore. Then the third line, if you have a third line, is shame. That's not, I did a wrong thing. That is, I am wrong at the core. There's something inherently, innately wrong with me. Deep shame, deep embarrassment, deep, oh, I'm wrong. Right. And that's the wound that we're transforming. So the gift in that is lightness, humor, it's freedom. It's being able to be free to be you and finding that in the world, in yourself, creating that for yourself, having different experiences. Life is going to give you tons of experiences. You're going to fall down, you're going to get up, but you're going to become very wise and knowledgeable. The fourth line, rejection. Do I fit in here? Do I belong? Because you're always going to be attuned to, was that a rejection? Are they pushing me out? Do I belong? Am I chosen? You're always going to make other people feel like they belong too. Because you know what it feels like to feel rejected, to feel like you don't belong, to feel like, shoo, go. That core wound of rejection. I didn't want you. I didn't want you. I didn't want to have you. You were an accident. To feel that, oh my gosh, rejection. Fifth line is guilt. Working with that guilt of I did something wrong. There's a lot of expectations on me. I need to be perfect. And if you mess up, it's a big thing. So can we bring in forgiveness? I'm learning. I'm allowed to mess up. I don't need to be perfect. And the sixth line is, the also the line that we all share, that we all carry. It's this wound of separation. It's being separate from source, from God, from love, from universal love, and feeling like you are placed in this alien planet and you're like, I don't fit here. I don't belong here. What is this? I have an idea of Shambhala. It ain't here. And so there is like this seed of Shambhala inside of you. And you're here to be the role model to bring in, okay, if you don't belong here, how can you make this home? How can you make this bring people, bring your situation? How can you be Shambhala? How can you emanate that frequency? Right? It's not here. You are it. You are the little transplant to be that. And you're going to see all the ways that it's not here. And you want to make sure that you don't allow yourself to get disappointed, downtrodden. Oh my gosh, it's never coming. We don't want to land into pessimism where we feel like, nope, it's not here and it will never be here. We have to have hope, right? And each step at a time, we want to, not with, I'm creating Shambhala, we just need to, in our innocence, one step at a time, bring it here more and more and more. And we got to remember our connection with source and love because we need to break the illusion of separation. That's the mission of the sixth line. Break that illusion of separation. Bring Shambhala here on earth. So, yeah, those are some of the themes that we work with, the karmic one, the mythic ones, the core wound, the soul contracts we have with others, with our mom, with everyone that's in our lives, the emotional, relational, and the physical. So these are the things that we are working with and through that we were kind of stewed in, marinated in. So the womb you came from is that first matrix. It sets your reflexes, it sets your early beliefs about reality, and it's like your default creation blueprint. It's like your default factory setting, like here's what I came with, right? But if we learned anything from Gene Keys, we learned like epigenetically, we can change our coding and we can see what we inherited and decide, okay, I'm going to tweak this. This is clearly shadow and reaction or shadow and repression. What's the gift in this? Oh, shoot, that code is turned off. How do I turn it on? Right? How do I resource some of this energy that I need? And we're all learning and growing. And so we're pulling in gifts. We're learning new skills. We're adapting. And Yeah, we're learning to come back to who we are at our core before we were in our mama's womb, before all of it. What's your soul? What's your soul song? What's your soul code? And we're here to remember it, right? We've crossed through that barrier and we're born, but we have to forget. We know it all in the womb. We're intuiting it all. We're creating it all. We're working with the alchemy of the womb waters. And then we get born and we forget and severed. Separation comes. Umbilical cord is cut. And then okay, forgetting. So, and life will continue to poke you, tweak you, be like, try to wake you up and remind you. You're going to have all these experiences to wake you back up, to help you remember your original source code, to remember your original soul song. And so, whenever we get the shadow, the light, they're just glimmers. Oh, oh, that sounds familiar. That feels familiar. Oh my. Or the shadow. Oh, wow. Okay, constriction. What do I do with this? All right. Okay. And then we relax into that to help see what's here. What do I need to transform? We are alchemists. Like, we are magical freaking beings here. And we are creators. We have to remember that we're creators. This is the whole purpose of this series is we are conscious creators. We're here to remember that and to start, creating the world that we'd like to see for us, for all, not just this selfish, I'm going to create Shambhala for myself and I'm going to hide it over here and you can't come inside. We're going to create Shambhala for humanity. Okay, so womb, wound that we came from. And then we have the womb that we create from. It's your current creative field. It's the one that you are birthing worlds, birthing businesses, birthing all sorts of things. Like you are a creator. The outfit you chose today was your own creation. The way that you styled your hair, the words that you use, it is of you, from you. It's you made manifest in this world. So that second womb is the womb that you create from now. And it's how you are utilizing, that conscious creatorship. So we need to tune into that womb, your current body and nervous system, and what it needs. Sorry, I was just checking the chat. I thought there was something in there. So we want to tune into our body, and this is where the data is. How resourced, how rested, how nourished, how regulated are you? How grounded are you? And whether there's space for your soul song to vibrate without being drowned out by adrenaline, fear, survival mechanisms. There's a pattern that shows up for me consistently, and it's connected to my Saturn activation and the current transit that we're in is the 5.5 is my biggest lesson in learning, and I tend to be down to the last wire. Like I'm not early, I'm on time all the time. And that creates so much adrenaline and stress in my system right before I have to do something or arrive at something. Like even now, I'm like putting up this curtain and doing things. I'm like, I can't just sit here with a cup of tea and feel so grounded and spacious. Like I need to create stress before I do something, like last minute, Lucy, like that's who I am. And I realized today I don't want that. So I have to change my habits to be able to allow more spaciousness, to not be down to the wire. But I've created this pattern for myself, whether it came from my lineage or it came from different things. I don't need that pressure to perform. I created that for me. Pressure, pressure. You're going to perform now. It's not nurturing and nourishing for me anymore. So when I tune in, I can still feel the adrenaline. I can still feel like I don't feel calm and grounded, although I can access that. So you tune into your body. Does it feel tight? Does it feel rushed? Does it feel desperate? spacious, curious, devotional, focused. All of the archetypes that you have in your divine design contribute to these things. Are we in the shadow in one? Are we in the gift of the other? Right? Are we in devotion? Are we in half-heartedness? Are we fragmenting our awareness? Or are we like here, now, present? We focused? Or are we AD? Right? All the archetypes have their different expressions. And if we can tune in, we can feel into, ooh, somebody's kind of off mission. Somebody's kind of off purpose inside of me. We feel into that. So you feel into your inner womb, your inner space. What does it feel like there? We tune into our energetic and environmental field. What does your home feel like? What does your desk feel like? What is your money reality? Your calendar, your inbox, the people that you surround yourself with and by, your partners, your kids, your collaborators, your clients. What's the content of these people, of these places, of these things? Because that's also contributing to the world that you are a creator. You put these things in your life. Why? For what purpose? And are they backing up those different patterns that you're stuck in, right? The patience and patience. Like, how are all these things setting you up for success to enact that pattern? And if you want to be a match for your Shambhala, what does that feel like? My Shambhala is definitely floaty and like airy, fairy, but deeply grounded and connected to nature. It's almost like I don't know, there's no time in that land, but I'm living in a world that requires me to be on time. And I'm judging this on time thing against my 5:15 rhythm. What is my rhythm? My rhythm is definitely does not have a clock, but the world operates on a clock. So how do I create a place where I can dance and be in balance, where I have that space to operate off clock, and I know how to not stress myself the F out trying to be on time, creating pressure to perform, to ground me, to be like, Ashley, come here, come now, focus. You can't be off in the land, right? So I'm learning how to do things more gently with myself and not be rushed and not be fast. So, what are you wanting to create? And does your reality support that? And what needs to change if it's not supporting it? So, that's like this outer womb. We have an inner womb that our creations are gestating in. And is that a match for what you want to create in the world, what you are wanting to put forth? If you're asking for more connections, more relationships, or you're in the realm of business and you're wanting to create a business, or I don't know, depending on what your focus is, my cat is going psycho. Do you see what's like happening? She's like trying to scale the universe. Apparently, I am too. I will scale the universe. She is a psychopath, and I am too. What the hell? She's attacking me now. I attack myself too. Thank you. Okay, I hear it. I hear it. My 18 gets super judgy. She's attacking me. I attack myself. Yes, nothing can grow when you're attacking yourself because it's, oh, okay, we can't operate here. Don't even move because if we move, we're doing it wrong. Yeah, that's my IQ sphere, 18.1. My EQ is 47.1. So, man, these patterns are deep. And it takes crazy cats to help me see things. She's just attuning to my field, right? Go around animals. They're really going to show you stuff, especially cats. They don't give an F. They don't. I'm tell you that much. Dogs, they just want to people please. Cats, no, not cats. Okay. Yeah, I feel this tender, sad part of me that is constantly feeling under attack. I don't get it right. I can't get it right. I'm wrong. Why are you attacking me? I don't know why I attack myself. I was raised in an environment where things needed to be perfect, and I had one parent who was repressive and didn't say any of the things that where she was struggling with, and the other one who was reactive with the 49, who everything was wrong and it wasn't fast enough and you weren't smart enough and you needed to get it right the first time because he didn't have the patience to teach you. Like, how come you don't know this? So, how come you don't know this? Fed into this fear of being stupid, this fear of being wrong, this fear of getting it wrong, fed into the guilt of, I fucked up, I got it wrong. And so this perfectionism pervaded my whole life. I got to get it perfect. I got to be perfect. And then that also made it really hard to be on time because everything took longer because it needed to be perfect. And so I share that with you because we all have our patterns. You have your patterns, and it's best to be aware of them. And the moon is also, if you look at your conscious moon, it's what drives you, and it's also your what you feel you need to feel nurtured and nourished. Think about the divine mother. Think about unconditional love mother. Think about what you need to feel set up for success. We have inner tides and emotions. There's highs, there's lows, and there is something that helps you calm. My moon is 4.2. So this goes from intolerance to understanding to forgiveness. And it's a second line. And so my moon really works well with reciprocity and interaction. If I understand you and you understand me, then there's this tolerance that comes in where it's okay, we're good. There's nothing wrong. You get me, I get you. And that was what drove me to understand myself too. I was like, I don't feel completely understood by my family. I feel like whatever, I won't get into all of that, but it drove me into these systems as well. I wanted to know myself. I wanted to know myself and recognize and understand. And I needed this sense of forgiveness. That there's not going to be all this reactivity and an attack on me. There will be tolerance, there will be spaciousness. Like the 49 is not going to come in and tell me you're not doing it according to my principles and my laws. I need to put you on a leash, right? So I attracted a lot of people in my life with the 49 and the 19 because I was raised around it. Do I have those activations? I don't. They were part of my environment my whole life. All of my lineage carries the 49 and the 19. It's crazy. So, anyways, we can look at our vocation sphere. That's the wound, the imprint when we were developing in the womb, in our mother's womb, in the origin womb, right? We can also look at our moon. So we've got the womb and the moon. And the womb and the wound also is a factor, right? So we're looking at that womb and the wound we got in the womb. And then the moon, which is the silver door, right, is okay, what do I need to feel good, to feel okay? How do you nurture yourself? And if you look at your moon, knowing that I needed to be understood, I needed somebody to say, oh, you're feeling upset? Oh, you're feeling, I would feel that way too. Like I needed this mirroring and reciprocity. Of course you would feel that way. Of course you would da da da. Of course, it's okay. It's right that you're feeling this, that you're experiencing this. I found these systems to give myself permission. Oh, yeah, that's who I am. Piece of being came piece by piece as I learned my charts. Oh, okay. And I had to tell myself, it's okay. This is who you are. And there's grace in the learning process. My core wound is the 53 immaturity, expansion, superabundance. It's about learning. And the fifth line is guilt. I'm not learning fast enough. I'm not perfect. I don't get it from the get go. I need to be taught, right? How can I be expected to know Spanish if I've never learned it, had people around me? Like, no, I mean, I can speak Spanish, but let's just say like German or French. I have no idea how to speak those. And if you said, speak French, Ashley, yo no say, I can't even speak French. So teach me. I want to learn. So look at your core wound, look at your moon. Those are interacting with each other. The silver door gets interesting, not just because we heal the past. We're creating the future. We're healing the past with the origin womb. We're creating a future with the creator womb. It's a dynamic between these two wombs because it's the one we were created in and the one that we're creating from. And we learned how to be a creator by being in our mother's womb. She's showing us, she's teaching us unconsciously how to create this world. She created the world. Just like we learn English or whatever our first language is, we learn it because people around us are speaking it. And we're very, very intuitive and we're very, very open. And so we learn it. And your brain is connected to your mother's heart, and her heart is connected to your brain for the first 3 years of your life. And so there is stuff being transmitted to you. She was the first creator for you. She co-created you. And you're learning how to co-create in this world. So you unconsciously recreate that origin environment. You build businesses that feel like your family system. You choose collaborators that mirror early caregivers. And you set up schedules or money patterns that mimic that same scarcity or chaos. When we recognize it, we can choose differently. Some of us will have that. I've done all this work. Why am I still in the same environmental landscape? Why am I still struggling with this? Why am I still da 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 da? It's great to ask those questions, but we need to bring in more of that nurturing and love to that. So we go to the moon and say, all right, how do I need to be nurtured? In Gene Keys, it's a new sphere called the relating sphere. It's how we prefer to relate, communicate. No, that's Mercury. That's not the moon. He doesn't even have the moon yet. But we're bringing in Mercury. Okay. Mercury, how we relate. Moon, what drives us, what we need to feel nurtured and nourished. It's like a love language. What's your love language? When the tides are high, how can we calm them? And right, the moon impacts the tides, our moon. We got high tide, we've got low tide. We have inner tides too. Remember we talked about Agua Sucia and the tides. So we need to be adept at being able to read the tides. And some of them follow a cycle as well. So we can track that. We can time that. Okay, here's the opportunity to work with this. This is coming up again. Oh, wow, this feels like this. You're going to start to notice the patterns and see, wow, this feels similar. What happened that feels like that? You're going to be able to have that ear for feeling, for notes, for memory, for emotion. Oh, that feels familiar. Oh, that feels like that experience. And when we have that data in the present, we can do different. We can change. We can try something else out. So, alchemy. Let me get back on track. Alchemy. Conscious re-architecting. You are an architect. You are creating Shambhala. You need to create and acknowledge that your womb needs to be tended, right? It needs to be a safe place for creation to happen and occur. We get these data points, we get these shadow things that show up. Bless it. It's curriculum. You're just learning from it. And we're course correcting. It's like having the universe help us get back to being on track, a match, holding the pose, staying the course. Like we're getting data points all over the place. That pain has purpose. That shadow holds the gift. So you choose how to shape your womb and create from maybe different boundaries than you've learned, different rhythms than you've learned, different ways of responding to the fear and the feedback. So yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the shadow becomes data. Okay, I think I spoke about this. I'm just looking at my notes. Yeah, we did. Okay, so I have a little womb kind of practice to help you bring and transform and alchemize the stuff that's in the womb. But first and foremost, let's tune back into, we're on this journey of conscious creatorship, and we're also tuning into these different systems, Gene Keys, Human Design, the archetypes. You have an ecosystem inside of you. You have a council in your womb, and in like you have inner archetypes. They make up who you are. And to be able to have connection and relationship with them allows you to know their pitfalls and their potential and help encourage them yourself to come back into harmony with the whole. Some shadows are protective, are fearful, are sabotaging, are confused. When we're in the shadow frequency, when we're in the gift frequency, we're aligned, we're on mission, we're willing to collaborate, we're adaptable. But we have to know that when one of our archetypes has an issue, they're standing up in the boat, rocking the boat. We need to not tell them, like, suck it up, buttercup. We got shit to do. Sit back down. We need to bring it up and forward and say, okay, what it is that you need. Because odds are they're feeling unsafe. So they don't have safety resourced. And so what do you need to help yourself feel nurtured, feel nourished, feel safe? And once you get that safety, then you can go ask, okay, what's the shadow story? How can we turn this agua sucia into the gift? Okay. So just tune back into our bodies again. Calling back the parts and pieces and just allowing ourselves to center and ground. Just doing kind of like a scan of your body. And what we're looking for is we're looking for the part that feels the safest. Where does safety live in your body? It might or might not be your heart. It might be your legs. They feel strong, they feel stable, they feel secure. We want to find the place that feels safe in our body. You can let me know in the chat or in the comments, like, what part of your body feels the safest right now? Maybe no part of your body, and it's just the ground beneath you, the chair, the couch. It can be an external thing, but try and find that anchor point. My legs feel strong. The root feels anchored. The throat feels clear. The crown feels open and supported. Feet, hands, crown, pelvis, legs, some of you are seeing. Yeah. So now that we have that place, crown and throat, yeah. So putting your hands on whatever that place is that has the most safety, that is the resource zone. That is the zone that has the safety. It's that small pocket of okayness, safety, love right now. It's a resource zone. So now that you found that, now I want you to find the zone that's kind of struggling. Where do I feel tight, scared, ashamed, overwhelmed, chaotic? That is exactly where your inner archetype that is hanging out in the shadow is raising its hand in the boat saying, I'm not okay with this, I'm not okay with this, I'm not okay with this. My arms feel like I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this. So we're just touching those places. You can put it in the chat. What's the ones that are struggling? So you've got your safety zone and you got your struggling zone. And now that you have both of those, right, you're going to take some of the safety from your safety zone and you're going to share it and offer it to the struggling zone. And the way that we do that is you are going to imagine this silver thread or this silver lining or this silver cord going from the safety zone to the struggling zone. You just can imagine it or intend it if you're not a visual person. Or you can put your hand on the safety zone and the struggling zone. And you can imagine those zones connecting. Now, here's the key part of working with this energy. Now, it's so easy to just use your breath as a resource to channel that silver safety to the struggling zone. You can breathe in as you're collecting the silver, and then your breath out is pushing it, willing it, sending it to the place, sending it to the struggle zone. Now, that's just one way you can send the stream of silver. That's silver lining, that's silver nurturing, that's silver safety. And it can be safety, it can be love, it can be whatever you're willing it to be. You're just locating the spot in your body that already has it, and you're sharing it with the spot that needs it. Now, you can do that with breath, you can do that with movement, and you can do that with sound. So those are your 3 ways to will it, to help it get there. And you may need to use all 3. And they may go in different orders. You have a unique way of moving it. You might want to start with movement. Okay, we're moving it there. And then you want to bring a breath pattern into it. And maybe you want to bring a sound. As the silver's reaching that part of your body, maybe you're toning, maybe you're getting your tone to come down and meet that, because your tone can break up whatever's stuck in there. And you're making more space for the safety, for the love to come in there. Does that make sense? So you found your safety zone, you found your struggle zone, and through movement, breath, and or sound, you're finding creative ways to make it okay, to help it receive that safety. And we don't want to force it. So if it's a struggle to get anything to that struggle spot, we won't do anything, and we're just going to put our hand and our awareness there and say, how can I help you? How can I support you? Because sometimes it wants nothing to do with you sharing anything with it, because you're the unsafe one. So why would I accept any silver safety from you? That's probably silver curses. Like, you're trying to get in there. I don't know what the state of being is like in you and how feisty that side is, but we need to get creative as conscious creators to how can I approach this? So we learn from approach. That's the 19, right? So when I was swimming around the 19 and the 49, that whole channel, I'm needing to learn, how do I approach this? Let's not be in reactivity. We're creating a revolution, a rebirth, an inner revolution. And in order to get this part of me on board, yep, I sign up for that. I need to know how to approach it. I know how to sell it to that part of me. Come on, it's safe to come back with the team. We need you. We want you. You're not stupid. You don't need to get it right or perfect. We trust you. We trust you. That's what I need here. We trust you. We trust you. So, okay, I can feel it rising into my heart. Oh, okay, you trust me. Okay, I trust you. So, whatever you need to say, whatever it is you need to touch, be, feel, emote, that's the alchemy. That's the lunar alchemy, right? When we got tides a going and flowing, how can we alchemize this? Because it makes it really difficult to see when we're in the storm. It makes it really difficult to get there when the waves keep pushing us backwards. You're going to waste all your energy and your time trying to force and push against it. When really these inner archetypes, they need our patience, our time, and our space. If the waves are raging, if the storm is raging, there's a way to calm it. We don't have to be more forceful. Get in there and get through it. Sometimes that creates a lot of damage. Sometimes that is the way, but we have to use our discernment, right? Because the whole bigger picture of this is like we're creating Shambhala for ourselves. And does heaven on earth mean that we're constantly in war and in storms? Eventually, that storm is going to get deep, 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 deep inside of you, and it's going to turn into dis-ease, disharmony, dislocation, all the dis, all the uns. Like none. You are exiling parts. And what if that part had the key to Shambhala? And you just said, we don't got time for you. Or what if all of your parts needed to come together to create a master key? And you can't unlock Shambhala if you've just exiled. We don't exile anyone. So if your Lilith was exiled, we got to bring her back. Obviously, not to allow her to create destruction within our Shambhala, but we're going to bring her back and be like, okay, Lilith, what's going on? We exiled you because you were causing a lot of ruckus, but now I want to bring you back because you belong here. Okay, so that was like the silver safety circuit practice where you're taking that silver safety, love, whatever you're identifying as, my system needs this, and bringing it in, sharing it. You're sharing it with your system in your system. It's a way to find safety where it already lives in your body. And then we're sharing it. And sometimes you can't find it inside of you, so you got to go lean up against a tree or be in nature somewhere or call a friend, who wants to be a millionaire? I'm going to phone my friend. They've got the answer to this question. And then you work through it with your friend. What is your safe space? Okay. So that's like a practical tool to use. But let me see if there's anything else. So coming back to the womb, because we talked about the moon and your inner tides. We want to understand ourselves better and what our system needs. And like just one practical tip and tool to be able to resource more safety or more understanding or more acceptance or more love. Insert whatever you want to share with your system. Oh, I'm identifying this fear, and I think that it needs tenderness and love and touch. So I'm going to offer that to that place, right? And it always works to start with safety, and then it can divulge more. But we're trying to make a safe place for creation to occur as well. Somewhere where your mom in her humanness didn't know how to create a optimal environment that was surrounded by love. And let's not judge the womb space either. You got exactly what you needed when you were in the womb of your mother. But as you're being a conscious creator and you have your eye on the prize, this is what I'm creating, we want to be a match for that. And so we need to understand what environment that needs to live in, right? If you're trying to attract a partner, then we need to be a match for a relationship. We need to be a match. And what kind of partner? Who do I need to be to attract this kind of partner? And do I have any codependencies in me? Do I have any patterns that is going to sabotage that relationship? Do I have any beliefs that will make it so that I can't get that either? Insert that in any situation, business, whatever it is. We're not a match for it yet. We become a match. And so we tune into the womb. And you can ask, we want to do womb check-ins very frequently. We want to tune in and be like, okay, what's happening inside of me? What am I feeling right now? And doing that body scan and being like, oh, off a little bit. We want to be able to be master tuners. Like, we want to tune the instrument, right? If you are a guitar player, you're always going to be checking to see, is this guitar in tune before you play your song? Because it sounds off. It doesn't sound right when you're playing your song and that's off. The piano's off, the guitar's off, the violin's off, whatever is off. So we're tuning our instruments, and you're going to be a master tuner because you're tuning in to your soul song. Your soul song is the song of your Shambhala, is the song of home. And once we understand, whoa, that's my soul song, we can keep tuning in to come into alignment with that soul song. And that requires us to tune in to our emotional tides and waters. Not just that, there's the field of emotions, there's the field of beliefs, right? There's the mental, emotional, physical realm. We want to tune into all of those. What gets me in alignment with the Shambhala song? So tune in, do a body scan. What am I feeling right now? And then we do the silver lining, we resource or the silver circuit. We take some of that safety and share it with the part that's struggling. And then we don't always need to stop there. Sometimes there's a story behind that shadow. And in order for us to not keep repeating this, we need to learn from it. So, what is this shadow trying to protect? What is it trying to show me? We want the data. The data is going to help you course correct, right? We want to look at the past and plan for the future. And then you're asking yourself, what tiny shift is going to bring me 2% closer to my soul song and the Shambhala I'm building? So we're tuning into what's off. We're sharing the silver safety or whatever it is. We're uncovering the data. And then with all of that information, we know how to realign the shift we need. So that's the silver lining of things. We're not pretending that everything's fine. We're not bypassing things. We're not exiling things. We're like, whoa, something's off. I can feel something's off. Making the space to tune in. And then letting your field give you the information that you need about how you can tune up. It's like a car. It needs fuel. It needs oil changes. And so does your energetic being. So does your physical body, your energetic body, your emotional body. Otherwise, it doesn't operate appropriately. It doesn't operate optimally. So we want to tune into that. And this is how we be a match. By using your feelings as information, not enemies. This is how we hold the post. By staying with our experience long enough to learn about it. And we stay the course. We're not trying to be perfect. We're taking small, little adjustments, little by little, instead of abandoning the path or the moment when the shadow shows up. We don't want the shadow doesn't need to take us out. So that's what the silver door is about. It's this lunar alchemy. It's this silver lining. And when you find yourself in the highs and the lows of life, sometimes we do need to tune in, tap in, and be like, okay, what's going on? And if we don't have the space or time to do that, and you find yourself spiraling, the way to get out of the spiral, because right, if the shadow compounds and it's like now the day is shitty, or you wake up off and in a funk, what you need to do is to look for the silver linings in life. Look for the magic, look for the moments, look for the glimmers. And when you're training yourself to look for the glimmers, you start raising and elevating your vibe so that you have enough safety and higher vibe to be able to handle and go into the shadows and not be taken out by them. Because if your vibe is low and most of your being is operating in the low vibe, you can't help anyone. So we need to be able to raise ourselves and our vibe enough to be able to help the parts of us that are struggling. Because we're no help if the majority of our being is in the shadow, is in the muck. When that's the case, we nurture, we nourish, we look for the glimmers. We start to find evidence in our outer reality that we can find our way back to the path. And once we're on that path, we're like, okay, that just came up. That was interesting. Let's get curious about it. Right? So we're tuning in every day, little by little, to our soul song. We're hearing it more clear. And we each have something to sing, to express into this world. And it wants to get out. It wants to come out. So in this silver door, it helps us tune up. It's a tune up place. So yeah, If you feel called to go deeper, I highly suggest working with your conscious moon archetype, your core wound, if you would like, and seeing, how they interact. Like we went into those earlier. And we want to have awareness for what's in transit too. So continue to walk the wheel. If you want to sign up for the 64 archetype subscription, you can go deeper into the courses. You can know what's alive in the zodiac season. Because remember, we want to come into harmony within ourselves, but also we've got a whole world, a whole cosmic curriculum happening outside of ourselves. We can't hide in a hole. We've got to know what the solar system, solar alchemy, sun is giving us, offering us. We've got the sun and we've got the moon. What are your inner tides showing you? And what is the sun showing you? What are the solar transits? So I know it's like a dance. So I've got support. You're supported. We are doing this together. We're on door 10. So look for the silver linings. Tune in to the tides of your inner world and, offer some safety, some support. Learn how you need to be nurtured and nourished. Because once you're good to go, your moon is no longer looking for that nurturing and that nourishment because it feels like I'm not getting it and I'm emotional and oh, what do I need? Oh, okay, I just need this. Once it gets that, boom, it's like your drive because what you want in life is so connected and associated with your emotions. So when your emotions are good and balanced, boom, you're unstoppable. So what was a wound becomes your drive and it's boom. You want to get to Shambhala fast? Then you got to be good to go emotionally. Poop. We got to nurture those waters. And then they become this unstoppable current that just is taking you there. Okay. All right. Thank you for being here with me for the silver door. Thank you for your curiosity to open that door. And I hope that you'll dig into, your moon, your womb, and allow yourself to find creative ways to alchemize the tides inside of you, whether it's through the silver circuit where you're sharing that silver cord resourcing that safety and bringing it another place, or you find a cool new way to do it. I'm sure you guys have so many amazing tools and modalities to help you regulate. And now is an important time because, we went through the white door and the black door. We've got the light and the dark aspects. We need to be able to navigate both of those, integrate both of those, bridge both of those. That's what's going to create balance and harmony. No longer this need for duality. We're unifying and we are accepting both aspects, both parts. And we're learning how to tune up, align, and sing that soul song. So thanks again for joining. And I am excited to also hear what's alive for those of you that are inside of the Zoom room. So we will say goodbye to the live stream and Facebook land and let's see what's been going on and what's landing. All right. Bye everyone watching the live.